Janet, help us and help those who are suffering like Jessica. How do we reframe looking at the situation? I think reframing can possibly help people on that road, right, of moving. How do you reframe it?
So, as you mentioned, reframing is when you look at the reality of a situation, and obviously, the way our brains work is we go to the negative anyway, but you say to yourself, what's another way to look at it? And Jessica, both of your parents knew how much you love them. And so it's important during these times when you're reflecting to certainly allow yourself to go to what you missed, but also to think about the joy and think about the sacrifices that everyone made and just how much love your family had for each other. And so one of those things is to, when you start picturing your mom in her hospital bed, to think of those times, those like the pictures that we're showing, where there was love and there was caring and there was pride for you. And you actively have to do that, and you can.
Wow. This is such a situation where so many families are saying that they had a limit. Typically a grieving process, friends and family can come and say so long and kind of talk to each other and hug each other and embrace each other. Janet, this is a nationwide grief. Losing 200,000 people. I mean, the number doesn't even seem real. It's so big, it's hard to put it in context. Do you expect this to have deep and long-lasting effects on our psyche as a nation?
Well, certainly it can. I mean, certainly, as Jessica's doing, 200,000 families are grieving for the physical loss of a loved one, but there's also grief and the loss of people's jobs, their homes. There's so many other losses, and people die from other things. So there's a lot of losses going on. And I think what it does is it reminds us how precious life is. It reminds us how important the ritual of being able to say goodbye. And Jessica clearly was as thoughtful in the death of her parents as she was in their life, even finding a place where everyone could get together and grieve. There are numerous families that have not been able to do that because of COVID-19. So the key point is to accept it, to know that one day you will feel better and get through it, but you're not alone.
There's a rule in my house. You don't go to sleep angry after having an argument. And when you leave the house, if you're going on a trip, you leave not having an argument. You got to leave saying you love someone, hugging them, because you just never know. So, Jessica, listen, you're in our hearts. Your family's in our hearts. I know this is tough, but I know you will get through this. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You're going to inspire others, and you're going to help others realize that they are not alone. And Dr. Janet Taylor, as always, you're phenomenal. Thank you for helping us. This is tough, and thank you for helping us see how we can work our way through it.
My pleasure, Dr. Ian.
We're living in uncertain times. It's tough to keep up with the latest medical headlines.
About the market, panicked about COVID.
And how do those headlines impact you and your family? 100,000 people died. On season 13 of The Doctors, we want to empower you physically.
If I met them at dance, they would meet me at medicine.
Man, I love that. Emotionally.
If I can change my thoughts, I can change my feelings.
And medically.
He doesn't have his mask up, which is not a good thing.
This is the $1 million question, maybe the $1 trillion question. This is so critical for people to hear. We're giving you the inside track on health and wellness so that you can get back to the life you deserve. It's time to take back your power. The Doctors, now more than ever. Premieres September 21st.